Good. Here we go. Yo, welcome to the first episode of the podcast. All right, Nick Perdue. I'm your host, Nick Perdue. And you know what? I just have to say I appreciate you right off the bat. I'm just gonna start with the admiration. I appreciate you for turning this on. I appreciate you for listening. It's Tuesday. Good morning. If you're listening to this in the morning on your way to work, I appreciate you. I know traffic is a pain in the ass. I know. If you're on that 10 East right now, you got that sun in your face. Come on now. But I appreciate you for listening. Maybe you're on the job, lunch break, want to add me to your meal. And look, that's great. Have a little sandwich or something, you know what I mean? I appreciate you for listening. Or you're just getting off work. Now you stuck in that going home bumper to bumper traffic, which is probably worse because, you tired. I appreciate you. Or if you're working third shift, shit. At the plant, at the warehouse, you know what I mean? 11 p.m., it's dark. There's only a few of you, skeleton crew, I appreciate you. Put on the AirPods, go to work, I appreciate you. You in that Amazon same day delivery warehouse? I know y'all be working. So if you're listening, I appreciate it. I'm going to try and keep it light, to be honest. The main reason for this podcast was just to do something that kind of offset the narrative because it's just gotten so broy. You take a look at the zeitgeist and kind of like what's going on and you see like what's trending. And unfortunately or fortunately for whatever it is, media is changing and people are changing the way that they consume things. So, podcasts have risen to the top. That's why there's so many of them. So I figured, fuck it, why not one more? And here we are. So the first one, I'm going to be honest, probably is like any first pancake, isn't going to be the best. But if you stick with me, then I promise we'll have some decent ones. At least by episode 347, we'll have that. That's what I'm aiming for at least. So if you stick around that long, the United Healthcare CEO was gunned down in the streets by a vigilante, and people weren't upset, and people were upset at the fact that the masses didn't mourn this person. I got alerts on my phone. I got at least 7 alerts, and I'm like, what is happening? Headlines saying United Healthcare CEO dies. I'm like, what? Like, who is this? Brian Thompson, who is this? They show his photo. I still have no idea who this is. And that's how these individuals were able to, kind of walk around in anonymity. They were making a lot of money. Allegedly, Brian was making a lot of money. Although, whether this was real or not, I did see a quote-unquote LinkedIn post that, again, Photoshop the way that it is now, and you throw AI in that, it's over. So I don't know what to believe, but they did a good job, is what I'm saying, and it looked pretty real. But it said that the compensation was about $400,000 to about $500,000 a year, which is still a lot of money. But if he was making what they were saying, reports was about 10, which is a lot, yo. Because you also have to think, like, United Healthcare is the largest insurance provider, which is why they deny the most claims. And so when I first saw this, I'm like, oh, this was someone who it was either one of two things. He was either he had a claim, like he had United Healthcare, and you know what it is. You work your 40 hours, maybe it's 45, you do a little overtime. You sacrifice that Saturday, you sacrifice that Sunday with the family so you can make a little extra money. Christmas is coming up. You know what it is. You know it's tough. You ask the boss, can I get a few extra hours? So you can just pay for the healthcare. Maybe your kid needs braces. Last time I checked, braces aren't cheap. Invisalign, bite, smile, whatever it is, it's still not cheap. 4 or 5 thousand that you just don't have, right? Because you're not making minimum wage, but it's about 18, 19. Let's even say 22. And you, for the most part, are getting by, but then something happens. And you thank God that you have medical insurance. Take your kid to the doctor, take your loved one to the doctor because they're covered. They're still of age, so they're covered under your plan. So you're thinking, okay, we do the weekly checkups. It should be fine. You get to the doctor. Doctor says your kid has X, Y, and Z. Your loved one has X, Y, and Z. Like, okay, well, whatever we need to do, because this is your pride and joy. You will do anything for this human being that was brought into your life. And the doctor's like, okay, we'll start this. We'll start this. We have to run some more tests, but this and that, yada, yada. The nurse comes in. After, they ask for your insurance card when you check in. Of course, you hand everything over. Driver's license, whatever, all your kids' stuff. They have all the records, all the medical records. They have all that stuff. They know you're insured. You know this doctor. You know the nurse. The nurse knocks on the door. She has this look on her face and she shakes her head and she says, it's not covered. Then you say, fine, okay, well, what's it going to be? The nurse goes back. Now the doctor armed with this information and with you armed with this information, has the thing. I don't, but they have the Hippocratic oath that they have to, you always want the patient to live. But then now you find out that this bill's 50, 60, 70,000, 80,000, 100,000, 200,000, whatever it is. Band-Aids are $30. So, these medical bills rack up. Try and take out a loan. Doesn't work. Try and pick up some more hours, whatever it is, second job, third job, whatever it is. Breaking your back, busting your ass just to make sure that your loved one can still be here. It's stressful. It's hard. I know. It's tough. People go through this shit every day. They were getting denied health care. Life-saving medication, life-saving surgeries or whatever it is. We can't cover that. How old is grandma now? 88? That's just out of our... Allegedly, this CEO who, look, they are painting... I don't want to say he's a saint, but, it's hard for a lot of CEOs to be saint-ish. And if you're a CEO and you're like, oh, it's not me. If you're not Fortune 500, I'm not really talking about you. If you're like 50 employees or less, you're a key holder, meaning you're opening up the doors, you're closing at night, you're working 6 days a week, 60, 70 hours. You're the CEO. You're the glue that holds the place together. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to that CEO with the company car, with the corporate expense account, has the good health insurance, has the health insurance that they don't even pay for, has the health expense account, has the RX account, gets the bonuses. You know what I mean? Just in a completely different tax bracket. If they have to travel, they get per diem. Travel is covered. They can write off stuff that you can't write off. And you look around, you're like, what are they really doing? You're the one doing all the grunt work. You and your coworkers out here putting in their blood, sweat, and tears for that $17.25 an hour. No corporate card, no expense account, company car. Come on. That's the CEO that I'm talking about. That's United Healthcare. When you're the leader of an industry, of a titan, let's say, of industry, Okay, because being the largest insurer is insane. And I know that they like to say that he's in healthcare. He wasn't in healthcare. He was in insurance. And when you're a publicly traded company, your first allegiance is to making your shareholders as much money as possible. Elon Musk just tweeted it the other day. So it's like, if you know this and you design a program or had AI design or hired somebody or figured it out, so they developed an AI program for software to deny claims. Come on. People died who had United Healthcare coverage, who had coverage. People died daily. Did this person feel sad about the hundreds, the thousands of deaths? I'm sure they did. I'm sure when he was eating steak, when he was flying his family to France, you know what I mean? Like just having great summers in the Hamptons, whatever. I don't know. That's what he did. I'm just saying. I just feel like that's just rich people shit. Going to Aspen for the winter, stereotypical rich people shit. He wasn't thinking about the lives that perished with coverage. He was thinking about the bottom line. He was thinking about his bonus. He was thinking about how much cash is in the reserve. Because a lot of these CEOs, their bonuses are dependent upon how much is available or whatever in the reserve. And so that's why you also see a lot of mass layoffs, third quarter, whatever. Oh, well, we got to free up some cash. It's bonus time coming around, baby. You got to make these payments on the yacht. You know what I mean? I don't. I've never been on a yacht. So it's hard to be upset at this death. And look, I don't condone death. No one should die. But it's hard to feel sorry for someone who didn't feel sorry for others. Let me start there. And if you're the CEO of something, you can change policies to make sure that, hey, why don't we not deny the most? Like, yes, we're the largest insurance company, medical insurance company. Why don't we not deny the most claims? What if we just aimed for that? Like, they were at like 30% or something crazy. If they got down to denying the least amount of claims, you know what they could have done? They could have changed the trajectory of the business. Because a lot of companies follow suit at what the big boy does. And when you're the big boy on the hill, you get to kind of, play the game a certain way. As for the shooter, was his name Luigi? Fam.